Had some new job offers come in. I've selected the ones I'd like you to handle and added them to the list. Take a look on your iDroid. The more missions you complete, the more we can expand Mother Base. Members of the intel team are on the ground. Their reports will be reflected as predicted enemy fields of movement on your iDroid's map. The higher the team's level, the more accurate and frequent their reports will become. Be sure to take advantage of them.
Ocelot said the number of private forces is increasing, and they model themselves after us. They're a far cry from the likes of us. But why? 9 years ago we made enemies of the world as a nuclear-equipped force, independent of ideology or state.
Yes. Sooner or later, the real UN would have stepped in.
So why are they giving these PFs free rein?
That's our fault, too.
What do you mean?
What happened 9 years ago was a real problem for a lot of people. An organization as big as ours, with our facilities, was wiped off the map. Not an easy thing to hide. But if our existence came to light, so would the names of our clients. We had contracts all over, east and west, from superpowers to banana republics, the lot. Our clients denied all association with the likes of us. They had to make sure things didn't blow up on them. But at the same time, they missed us. They really missed us. The demand for armies for hire was as strong as ever. The international community turned a blind eye to what happened to us, despite still needing people who could do our jobs. History couldn't afford to lose us. As soon as we were gone, they needed a replacement. So private forces spread everywhere. And they're all just a phone call away.
But still...
I know. PFs are totally different from what we envisioned. Nation-states, revolutionaries, terrorists, they have a lot of clients, and Cypher is one of them. Cypher stays anonymous, but I know their work when I see it. In the eyes of those clients, the world's PFs are all just expendable pawns. The clients don't have to worry about losing their own men. Nobody knows they're involved, and PFs are cheap. In short, the world is chewing up soldiers and spitting them out. Even some of the old Mother Base's survivors are still working for PFs. Some guys created their own smaller forces.
The wormwood, also known as absinthium, that's used to make your Phantom cigars.
But none of them are living their dream, because they're not fighting with you. Of course, I tried to headhunt as many of them as I could for Diamond Dogs. It was all a waste of time. They said they weren't interested without you to lead them, but now you're back. And everything's gonna change. We'll unite all private forces under you, transcending nations and economies. What is a nation? Just a patch of dirt. The bonds among us will surpass nations, and that's what'll put the world under our control. We'll establish a new kind of country, redefine the very concept of it. Even Cypher will be below us, an extraterritorial federation of military nations. The United States of Force. Once word of Big Boss's return starts traveling, that'll be our true deterrent against Cypher. In other words, no one will dare to come gunning for you.
How do you figure?
Cypher lacks a large-scale fighting force. PFs are the perfect tool for them. But those PFs revere you, the legendary Big Boss. If Cypher killed you now, they wouldn't take it lying down. Maybe they'd even go looking for revenge, but they definitely wouldn't keep doing Cypher's dirty work, even if it put their lives at stake. That's why it's no longer a benefit to Cypher to get rid of you. The very fact that you're alive is our greatest defense against Cypher.
Nice to know. It'll buy us some time while we get back to full strength.
Just keep in mind that what I'm saying is generalizing a lot. In practice, the PFs around the world don't know your face. Just declaring that you're Big Boss won't be enough to convince them. And if they see you as an enemy, they'll come at you with everything they've got.
Some hero.
That's why you need to bring them back to Mother Base. Show them on your terms that you really are the one and only Big Boss. Once you've proven that, they won't hesitate to join us.
Extract him.
This is Pequod. I have arrived at marker. Cover fire. In hot. In hot. Watch out, boss. Pequod is in hot. Find cover. Watch out, boss! Target acquired. In hot. КП РБ-1. Есть признак вражеской активности. Усилим охрану. Прием. Это КП, понял. Будьте максимально осторожны. Конец связи.
And material. It could be just what we need to develop new weapons and equipment.
Это КП, понял. Немедленно проверить и сдать оперативную сводку. Конец связи. Всем боевым группам, это КП. Мы вступили в схватку с противником. Всем боевым единицам приготовиться к бою. КП, РБ-2. Мы выстрелили огнем. Нужна помощь. Прием. Всем состав, это командир. Внешняя радиосвязь вышла из строя. Мы не можем вызвать подкрепление с других аванпостов. Окопайтесь и удержите позиции своими силами. Конец связи. КП РБ-2. Потерял противника. Ищу последней точки соприкосновения. Прием. Это КП, понял. Будьте очень внимательны. Реагируйте на каждое движение. Конец связи. Это командир! Внешняя радиосвязь вышла из строя! Мы не можем вызвать подкрепление с других аванпостов! Окопайтесь и удержите позиции своими силами! Конец связи! КП РБ-2. Потерял противника. Ищу последней точки соприкосновения.
Roger.
КП, это свои 10! Нас атакуют! Пошли!
the Pequod. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Обыщите каждый угол. Они где-то здесь. Конец связи. Штаб, штаб, это кафе.
This is Pequod. On station at LZ.
Потеряли врага. Транспорт все еще прячется поблизости. Соблюдайте осторожность. Штаб, это кафе. Ответьте.
Okay, subject is in.
Штаб, ответьте, штаб. Штаб, это кафе. Штаб, прием.
This contract comes from a rebel guerrilla faction in Afghanistan. They've gotten wind of a rare meeting between 3 Soviet commanders running key units in the region. The location is Viala Village. This information comes from a mole planted within the Soviets' Arab Support Organization. The guerrillas see this as a one-of-a-kind chance to weaken the Soviet forces in one stroke. But if they act themselves, it'll expose the existence of their mole. That's why this job falls to us. The request is simple. Eliminate the 3 pigs, by any means. If these commanders are as good as they say, it'd be a shame to kill them. But I leave that decision up to you.
Штаб, штаб, это кафе. По нам велся огонь. Открыли огонь в ответ, но потеряли врага. Враг может все еще прятаться поблизости. Соблюдайте осторожность. Штаб, это кафе. Ответьте. Штаб, ответьте, штаб. Штаб, это кафе. Штаб, прием.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Roger.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
СКП, понял.
This is B-Quad. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by. This is B-Quad. There's an obstruction at the LZ preventing me from landing. Request immediate removal. Gaining altitude.
СКП, понял. Ищите подозрительные. Нет связи.
Departing.
Boss, good news from the support unit. They can now deliver support strikes to our areas of operation. Use your iDroid to designate a location for a strike. Just make sure you're not in the kill zone. I'd hate to tell the men they blew up the boss. After you've called in a strike, move away from the target location immediately. Also, like supply drops, strikes cost GMP. So once you don't put us in the red, remember what our real objective is.
Diamond Dog's intel team specializes in information gathering, mainly HUMINT and SIGINT. They plant scouts and moles in the field. These operatives will blend into the local populace and work under the guise of a resident, or disguise themselves as travelers and ask around for information. They observe targets using various hidden bugs, cameras, and transmitters, and by tapping their satellite and phone communications. Analyzing all this information creates a clear picture of how wars and the PFs fighting them are changing. This data can also be used for threat assessment when deciding whether to accept contracts from certain clients. And during missions, the intel team keeps track of target locations and produces FOM predictions, reporting mission-critical information based on real-time remote observation of changes in the AO. What you hear from us over the radio is based on how we interpret the data gathered at the command platform. However, intel team operatives go unarmed in almost all situations to avoid revealing themselves to the enemy.
Which came as some surprise. I spoke into his eyes. I thought you died alone a long, long time ago. Oh no, not me. I never lost control. Your face to face with the man who sold the world.
Dismasi Laman was full of Mujahideen, the Hamid fighters. Then suddenly they disappeared overnight and the Soviets moved right in. I guess the old fort is still in good enough shape that the Soviets want to use it as is. This means that the battalion commander stationed in Sakai village, a lieutenant colonel, is moving his operations room to the fort. Word is, he's an excellent leader. With him stationed at Smasi Fort, the Soviet forces in the area will operate all the better. And according to the client's information, he'll be bringing a tank unit to the fort as well. We don't know the redeployment date or the route they'll take, but there must be some planning documentation where the colonel is. You have two objectives: eliminate the colonel and stop the tank deployment. Counting on you, boss. If we're going to expand Mother Base, we need more manpower. And not just for combat roles either. R&D, the support unit, intel, each demands a different set of skills. If we want to achieve what we've set out to do, Diamond Dogs has got to get stronger. There's a Soviet engineer I want to have join us. He was the one who built your prosthesis. With him on our side, who knows what sort of enhancements he'll come up with for it. He tried to defect but didn't make it, and now he's being held prisoner at Waksin Barracks. Find this engineer and get him out. Having him on our R&D team will go a long way to helping Diamond Dogs grow.
Soviet engineer is being held prisoner at the Wak Sin barracks. You need to find him and get him out. He tried to defect from the base camp up north, but it didn't work out. Now they're holding him at Wak Sin. He's offered his technical skills to us as long as we can guarantee his safety. You have to extract the target.
Boss, your target just happens to be the man who developed your prosthetic hand. And he's the only one capable of maintaining it. If we bring him in, I'm sure he'll be able to modify it in all kinds of ways as well.
Approaching enemy outpost! Hold on, boss!
That's the Wak Sin barracks. The target is somewhere inside that outpost. The Soviets consider him a traitor now, so he'll be treated like any other prisoner.
Boss, come in. Boss! Boss!
Boss, the Soviet engineer is being held prisoner at the Wak Sin barracks. You need to find him and get him out. He tried to defect from the base camp up north, but it didn't work out. Now they're holding him at Wak Sin. He's offered his technical skills to us as long as we can guarantee his safety. You have to extract the target.
Boss, your target just happens to be the man who developed your prosthetic hand. And he's the only one capable of maintaining it. If we bring him in, I'm sure he'll be able to modify it in all kinds of ways as well.
Approaching enemy outpost! Hold on, boss!
That's the Wak Sin barracks. The target is somewhere inside that outpost. The Soviets consider him a traitor now, so he'll be treated like any other prisoner. That container's filled with raw materials. Looks like they're using those colored bands on the outside to tell the contents apart. Whatever's in them, they'll come in handy somehow for Diamond Dogs.
Я не хочу умирать!
КП, такой один! Мы потеряли бойца!
Great.
Это была вражеская атака!
I've updated the info on your iDroid. Take a look.
Понял.
I hope he's all right.
Держите ухо восток. Конец связи.
You gotta extract. Him.
КП, это 44. Одного из наших унесло на воздушном шаре. Кажется, у нас лазутчик. Не заняться его поисками. Прием. Это КП, понял. Усилить безопасность и найти нарушителя. Конец связи.
Boss, you've entered a building. Always keep an escape route in mind when you head indoors. If you get surrounded, you'll have nowhere to run.
Прием. 234. Это КП. Там никто об этом не докладывал. Видимо, она срочно кому-то понадобилась. Продолжайте выполнять задание пешим ходом. Конец связи. Чего?
There, that's the target.
КП, это Зоя-6. Потерял визуальный контакт. Перемещаюсь к последней известной позиции. Прием.
Протезы.
Будьте очень внимательны. Реагируйте на каждое движение. Конец связи.
Специалист по бионике. Я создаю биомеханические гибриды.
Great. If there's nothing in the way overhead, you should be able to bolt them in.
Не приказ. Бионическая.
КП, это 33. Нас прижали. Пошли, побери. Пошла помощь. Прием. Всех постов. Это командир. Внешняя радиосвязь вышла из строя. Мы не можем вызвать подкрепление с других аванпостов. Окопайтесь и удержите
Extraction confirmed. Your objective's complete. Exfiltrate out of the hot zone by chopper or on land. Roger.
Стоп! Ответьте! Стоп! Стоп! Это КП! Стоп! Прием!
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ. Gaining altitude.
engineer we rescued has been extremely cooperative. The guys on the R&D team are glad to have him aboard. Thing is, his specialty isn't mechanics, but something called bionics, engineering based on biology. He's already submitted a proposal for modifying your prosthetic arm. If you're interested, go ahead and give the development order.